Hello and welcome to Let's Ride with Stonewolf. That's me. It's a new Let's Ride series. Hooray! So today we're on our way up to Scotland, and the last several days have been very sunny, and today is a little bit cooler and overcast. It's been quite hot. Cool is nice. Cool is definitely nice. You may notice my voice is a little weird, and I might cough and clear my throat a whole bunch. Sorry about that. About a week ago, I got over a chest infection that I had for like 10 days, and yeah, sorry about that. And yeah, my voice is going to be sometime recovering properly, and my lungs are going to be sometime recovering properly. But I have had this booked for quite some time, so we're just going to have to deal with it. Welcome! So we just left Skipton. Skipton, it's about 100 miles from my house. I did it in like 3 hours. I actually got in like a really great mileage because I went over like, you know, my normal route up the back roads, down the back of like Chantworth's house and up to Lady Bar, Woodhead, that kind of way. But then like 2/3 of that was that kind of riding, sort of peak performance type stuff, and then the last third was just like village, town, village, town. So I got amazing mileage coming through that way. And then all of that grit, like I was coming into Skipton, it was like, oh, it's gonna be nice and short, it's gonna be great. And then yeah, there was an e-tron GT just like plugged in. You just left it. It was fully charged when I got there. There was a lady plugging in just as I got there. I was like, oh, that's annoying. And she was there for like half an hour. Then she left, and then I plugged in, and then you know, I did my whole charge, and I left, and the e-tron GT is still there. I was there for like an hour, while like all of that time that car was fully charged. Don't do it. It's not a parking space. You know, your vehicle should tell you how long it's going to take to get to 80%. Just set a timer on your phone and come back and move it. It's not okay to make people wait like that. It's just not, it's not good. But other than that, I mean, the ride up to Skipton was really nice. Oh, my voice is breaking a little. This is going to be annoying. I've got a lot of Let's Rides to record. But yeah, the road up to Skipton was nice. We're going to Scotland today. This is going to take us sort of skirting the Yorkshire something or others. It's not the Yorkshire Dales, we'll be going through those, but we'll be skirting this up towards sort of Kendal, and then we won't be taking the motorway from Kendal. We're going to be kind of shadowing the motorway from there for a while. Then we'll be striking out across the lowlands, sort of nipping in between Glasgow and Edinburgh, through Stirling, and then up through the Cairngorms to Inverness, which is our destination for today. And we are already 45 minutes behind schedule. Hooray! I actually left almost like perfectly on time. I meant to leave at 7. I left at 7:15. I mean, for me, that's amazing. But yeah. I gained 15 minutes because the Google estimate for Skipton was 3 hours 15, and I did it in 3. I got there at like 10:15. It was great. Ahead of time, short charge, none of that mattered. And now I'm 45 minutes late. Boo! But it's okay, you know. If we're on plan, we'd be due into Inverness fairly early in the evening. You know, only 10 o'clock at night. It's no big. Yes, 7 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Inverness is further away than you think. It's actually only 462 miles, I think. It's 460 something. I think it's 2. But like, I don't take motorways. I don't like it. I did 100 of those miles in 3 hours, and we've got a few charges along the way, you know. But the charges are good because they let me rest. You know, I need my rest. 3 hours on a motorbike is a long time. Like, even the most comfortable of motorbikes isn't. So, you know, take a break. I think this stretch is just about 2 hours up to Penrith. So we'll be getting 2 episodes of Let's Ride in. And then we'll be doing a charge. I'll be having lunch. Lunch. Yeah. So, yeah, I had a chest infection. That was pretty awful. I don't want to labor you guys with the details, but it was pretty bad. I've actually been sleeping in an airbed, or on an airbed rather, in not my current bedroom for the last week, because I needed to air the mattress out in my bed, because, whoa, it was a sweaty 10 days. But yeah, I went to a convention. I went to a furry convention. That was a lot of fun. Confuzzled is a really good furry convention. I've never been to a furry convention that has put as much effort into just doing a good convention as Confuzzled does. They really are like try-hard con, and it shows when you go. Like, it really, really shows. They put a lot of effort in, and it pays off. And there are a lot of things that you could say about Confuzzled, and plenty of people do. But it is a high quality convention. If you ever get a chance to go to Confuzzled, you should go to Confuzzled. You know, a lot of people, especially like if you're coming across from America, and you're like, I want to do a European convention. The natural thing to do is to go to Euroferns. But I would say try and get into Confuzzled if you can. They did actually hit the venue's fire safety limit this year. That caused some controversy. I think it was like a week before they were going to close anyway. They just put out an announcement saying, we legally can't accept any more registrations, so registration is closed, sorry. And a whole bunch of people were like, but I was waiting for payday and stuff. And it's like, it's 1 week early. It's not worth this amount of whinging. But, you know, people be people. I'm saying a million words a minute here, and honestly I shouldn't be, because I'm gonna tire my vocal cords out. I'm an idiot, because with my extended stop in Skipton, I totally forgot that I have actually brought cough syrup with me. And I should have had some cough syrup when I was there. I guess that's my opportunity to point out that I am not a role model. You shouldn't do the things that I do. But yeah, Confuzzled was a lot of fun. I had a great time there. I got to meet some old friends. I had to make some new ones. I like going to furry cons, they're a lot of fun. And I brought this thing to Moto Furs, which I like to do. It doesn't really garner a whole lot of interest from people. They kind of don't really. It looks like just another motorbike. So unless you know motorbikes, you're not gonna be like, oh, what is that thing? And even if you do know motorbikes, a lot of people like have a tendency to dismiss it as like a Ducati. It's like, oh, okay, it's a Ducati, whatever. But I do like to bring it because, you know, you'll get like that one person who's like, whoa, is that an electric motorbike? And you're like, yeah, it is. Cool, huh? Just, you know, doing my bit to normalize like electric motorbikes. These guys are really cramping my style. These deals are quite nice though. Oh, I keep forgetting to do that. I am forever leaving the vent open. But yeah, that was fun. The logistics of getting the bike there are a pain in the ass, because basically what I have to do is there's a little like enterprise rent-a-car place down the street from my house, so I have to like rent a little van from them, drive all my stuff down to the con, unload it, drive back, and then like give it back to Enterprise and go get my bike, and then do the opposite on the way home. Like, ride my bike home, go down to Enterprise, get the van, go down to the con, get my stuff, and come back. Vet checkout is just, it is the best. But yeah, I had a lot of fun at Confuzzled. And I cuddled with a fursuiter who had a little cough, and I didn't think much of it at the time. And then 2 days later, you know, when I was at home, thankfully, I came down with what I thought was a cold. This was not a cold. It was really annoying, actually. I was supposed to go down to Dartmoor, which is like a 600-mile round trip, including like derping around in the local area for the weekend. It's going to be 2 nights camping with my friends, and it was just the motorcycle group. It would have been really, really nice. I love that campsite that we go to down there, but I was like, oh, I've got a cold. I really shouldn't, and I cancelled it, and I was really annoyed, and I was like, great. I'm gonna be sick for the weekend, and then I'll be fine on Monday when I'm back to work. And then Monday came around and I was not fine. I was like, I got on a Zoom call with my boss. I very strenuously croaked my situation to him, and I had a phone consultation with the doctor. The doctor was like, yeah, it sounds like a chest infection. I'm sending a prescription for some antibiotics to your pharmacy. It's like, oh. And then I was sick for like the whole rest of that week. And you know, it's really annoying as well. Like, as much as I'm kind of an anti-work kind of guy, like, you go off from work for a week and a half, and then, like, at the end of that week and a half, you are sick AF, and you have to phone up your boss and be like, I'm not going to be into work this week, I'm sorry. Especially because I had caused a minor production incident just before I went off on holiday. So you can imagine how embarrassing that was. I do have some professionalism, despite my anti-work attitude. These guys are giving me stars, because they could probably hear me over my motorcycle. But, yeah, I do have, like, a bunch of professionalism. Work is work, and it's not something that is worth being passionate about, but it is something that is worth approaching with professionalism. And like, I find it embarrassing that I have to do that. Especially because my extra week off was shit. Like, I played a bit of Stellaris, and my brain couldn't handle it. My brain was just like, no, this is too much. You were exhausting yourself. Have a headache and like no energy. And I was like, oh my god, what the hell? So like, yeah, you know, when people who work from home on their computer tell you that their job is stressful and exhausting, and you're like, yeah, but, you know, I lift things and put them down all day. My job is worse. Just remember, your brain is a physical object that doesn't just magically generate thoughts. Your brain is a machine. Like the rest of your body. It consumes energy. It is full of chemical processes. And when you are working hard in like a creative or like computer technical type sense, you know what I mean? You are still working hard. It is actually taking a physical toll on you. It's just not like destroying your back or whatever. You can, in fact, break your brain by thinking too hard for too long. It's called burnout, and it's pretty crazy stuff. Like you don't realize how bad it is until it's really bad. And that's one of the reasons why, despite the fact that my work is just like sitting on a laptop all day, I won't do overtime. Firstly, I mean, I'm not paid for overtime. But, even if I was, like, it's not worth it to me. But yeah, it was quite the week. I played some Stellaris and that ruined me. So I spent like a couple of days just like burritoed up on the sofa watching YouTube. And then, like, as the antibiotics took hold and started to clear out the worst symptoms, I started playing like Derail Valley. Because Derail Valley is a lot less stressful. There's a lot less like thought input that goes towards a game like that. Kind of nice, relaxing games that you don't have to think about too much are good when you're sick. Whereas like Twitch shooters and like grand strategy games and stuff, you probably want to avoid. But yeah, this week by Monday I was good to work, but the recovery process has been a bit much. My voice has gotten better over the course of the week, but I went for a run on Tuesday, and wow, yeah. I usually run like a 5k from my door around the block, which is 3 kilometers, and then there's a shortcut through the block which gives me about 2 kilometers, and I usually do like one around the block and one shortcut, and that gives me a 5k. I got to the end of the 3k and it was like, I could finish the 5k, but I'm not going to, you know. When you do physical exercise a bunch, you do get a feel for what your body can and can't do. And the feeling that I got from that run was like, look, I could do the 5k, but I'm gonna hurt myself if I do. Or at the very least, I'm gonna harm my recovery. So I did. And yeah, I haven't gone out for a run all week. I've been swimming. I could do my 1k swim, that's good. I mean, back at the gym, I can lift weights. It's not too like long, stressful, but yeah, running is a bit hard. I'm gonna try. I have like running gear with me. I have a couple of layover days. I'm gonna try on my layover days just to do a few k, just to keep sort of something going. But yeah, I'm not sick anymore. And I haven't been since the weekend. But yeah, recovery is slow. Like I'm good to work, but no, other than that, not really. We want to keep going here. There is a place where I want to turn off this road. This is going to take us directly into Kendall, and I don't like Google's routing around that, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see if I can spot the turnoff, because I didn't write it down in my show notes. I didn't want to bring this thing, but it saved me bringing a strap bag. Actually, really irritatingly, the leather around the carry strap, like here, is starting to come apart. Why not zipped it up? Holy shit. Wow. Oh, Giggleswick. Wow, we're there already? That's crazy. That means we missed the turnoff for Wigglesworth. I love the naming of the towns around here. This is Giggleswick Station. There's a sign back there for like one of the side roads that takes you to Wigglesworth. Slow, to be honest. I'd just be chatting away, you know. Sometimes I don't really feel like overtaking people. I'm just like, yeah, I'm chill. It's cool. But let's make some progress. this area is quite nice. I mean, it's not like really dramatic or anything. It just, you know, it's picturesque. There are areas to the left and right of us where there are some, I think, nicer roads through like good, beautiful terrain. But yeah, you know, it's the whole local knowledge thing. And to be honest, the point of what I'm doing right now is not actually to view some beautiful terrain. The point of what I'm doing right now is to get to Scotland. The main event is coming up, shall we say. Recording still? Yeah, we are. Cool. I have a very new setup for my GoPro, which is that I got so annoyed with it failing on Woodhead Pass that I bought a cable for it. Like one of those third-party waterproof cable cover things. And now I'm running it like off of a power brick, basically. Part of the reason for that is that I want to do like a time challenge on this trip, and I don't want to be like stopping to constantly change batteries of bloody GoPros. Gamecock. Well, this is cramping my style. 39? Come on. Come on. I know you're a car, but you could do better than that. Slightly higher of a note that I could manage. I've seen a few VFRs on this trip. Actually, as I was leaving Nottingham, ooh, I think that was a HF badge. Nice. It might have been an Integrale. Yeah, as I was leaving Nottingham. Is that it? No, that's not it. Coming the other way was a Zero SRS. Why is this important? Simple. That is the first time that I have seen another electric motorbike in the wild. Like an electric big bike, not a little one. I've seen a bunch of little ones, but like the first time I've seen a proper like electric big bike in the wild, I'm just like, oh yes, I have a suspicion that's the way that I want to go. But what we can do is we can go up here, and if it's not the way we want it to go, I should have checked this in Skipton, but I forgot all about it. Yeah, it's important because it's the first time I've seen like another electric big bike in the wild. You just don't see them, and like I was really happy to see it because like, yeah, finally, you know. Might be the turn that I want. should have remembered the name of the town. I have a feeling it was Ipswich. You don't see him, and it's great to finally actually see one in the wild. Because the only times I've ever seen them is when I've been over at like English Electric. Oh well, I guess Pidcock's had one or two as well, but like they are also a dealership. I mean, it is like a national. But yeah, it's really cool to actually see one out in the wild. I know I'm unreasonably happy to have seen one, but yeah. I mean, it's not like I haven't seen an SRS before either. I've ridden a Zero at some point. I think it was an SRF. I've seen SRSs around the dealerships and things. Walked around them and looked at them while I was waiting for stuff. But it's different to like see one out in the wild, because it means that, hey, there is another person who is riding electric motorbikes out there. And you see so few of them that like you start to wonder, like, am I the only one? And it's kind of important as well because, there's a lot of negativity about electric motorbikes. And one of the reasons that negativity is allowed hold is that people just have never even seen one. Like, I'd like to point out, I have been riding this thing for a year and a half. Actually, exactly a year and a half today. Wow. 17 December, yeah. Exactly a year and a half. Well, I've dated the video now. Exactly a year and a half. And I've not seen another one. And I hadn't seen one before. So, yeah. If I hadn't gone to EMC to take a test ride on one of these, I would never have seen one. Let alone ridden one. I'd never have had a conversation with someone about whether it's good. Loads of people have had conversations with me about this. I had like 2 just in Skipton. That's something, by the way, if you buy one of these, people will approach you when you're charging to be like, an electric motorcycle? But, yeah, part of the reason why the negativity about electric motorcycles is allowed to have hold is because motorcyclists just haven't ever encountered one. And the only thing they know about it is what they hear on YouTube. And consequently, I think it might be one of these. It's, I really should have, like, had to think about it. I'm gonna find a lay-by. I'm gonna find a lay-by and pull in. We're not gonna pull in here. Ooh. But yeah, part of the reason that negativity is allowed to have hold is because people just don't experience them, and Therefore, there is no counter to what they see on YouTube. You know, if some YouTuber says, "I don't like electric motorbikes because I've never experienced one, and I like petrol and I don't like the idea of this," then that's all that you hear, and you don't get to experience a counterpoint. And you will get reviewers who take out electric motorbikes and like, yeah, this is really good, but about the range, and it's very expensive, and yeah, those are valid things to, you know, pull up. But what you don't get is the experience of, oh, those are out and about, right? Even when even when a YouTuber or a magazine reviews the bike, it's still just a novelty. It's like, oh yeah, those are out there, I guess. Nobody's buying them, but they're, you know, they exist. Oh, okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull in here. One moment, please. All right. We're fine. I was concerned because there was like take that road to go south. We're not as close to the M6 as I thought. That's fine. Basically, the next major road on the right is a road we could take that will be long. We could just go across the river from that turnoff and take another road, which is kind of a minor road. I think we're gonna take the major road. Well, I mean major, but like, you know, it's that road. It's gonna extend our journey a little bit, but it looks nice, so that might be nice. We're already late anyway, whatever. It does mean I'm gonna have to change where the Let's Ride thing ends and stops. We'll figure that out. Because I was just gonna do it at the M6. We're not taking the M6. Just like FYI. That's not happening. What Google wants us to do is to go to the M6, go across to the other side, and then take a dual carriageway around Kendal, and we're not doing that. Lame. Who does that? That's for petrol bikers with their GSs with 300-mile tanks. Whose only concern about electric motorbikes is range. But yeah. Ribelle, is that it? I don't think that's it. What we want to do is go to maybe there's a little town up here. Well, no, yeah. You have to zoom in on Google to like see all of the little like tiny roads. So I have not done that because I'm dumb. But we'll get it. We'll find it. Should be pretty obvious. Because there's a tongue. There's a turnoff, a river, and then a tongue. I'm guessing that we will have a tongue speed limit, maybe. I say town, like a village, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Cowan Bridge. This is probably it. I'm going to assume it's not that one. But if it is, we can turn around and come back. I think we're going to take the long way. I love how I looked on Google Maps and I didn't like see any of this. Oh, that's a river. Wow. Well, I rolled a 1. You know, if we get to the M6, we can just turn around and come backwards. It's no big. Yeah, it is important to see electric bikes out in the wild. It is important that, like, you see them in places that you go to, because then you see and talk to the motorcyclists who ride them. They become normalized. Like, their existence, seeing them moving, seeing them do their thing, talking to the people who ride them, and hearing the things that they do with them. Like, that stuff helps to dispel the FUD that you encounter. Aha. I suspect that this is the turn that we want. Sedbergh, the A683. Yes. This is it. This is what we want. Cool. Oh, there's a lot of bikes over there. What? Come on. Are you going or not? Okay, sure. Well, there's a lot of motorbikes. This is going to be longer than the other route, because it is actually going to bring us to the outskirts of Kendal, just by a fairly roundabout route. We're going to go a bit further north and a little bit back east, I think, judging by the map, but I don't really care. It looks like it's going to be much more fun than the other option. And then the backup option, if I'd gone across the bridge, was looking like quite a narrow road. It might have been single track, and yeah, nah. Alright. Is it raining? Is it raining? I can't tell. Oh, it might be. I am definitely not outfitted for rain. Ooh, another ID bus. Yeah, I'm all vents open, summer gloves. Unless it's like a big rain, it's not going to matter that much. I kind of expected the weather to be a little bit better today, actually. But, you know. Some old-timey petrol pumps. I like this, like, defibrillator thing. Like, where old phone boxes have been converted into defibrillator stations. AEDs are really cool. I've never used one. I've never been trained on one. But the whole idea that they're there and you can use them, like, without training, with just, like, the simple instructions that are written on them. It's really, really cool idea, and I like the idea that, like, old infrastructure that is no longer needed can be repurposed to host new infrastructure. Yeah, we're gonna kind of doing the Yorkshire Dales, I guess, with this route. The M6, M7 as it becomes, is actually pretty cool as motorways go. Like, it goes through interesting terrain. It's still a motorway, you know, but yeah, it's got a bit of character to it. You know, it's kind of like the A1 Panoramica in Italy. It's like, yeah, it's still a motorway, but I don't really want to be on a motorway, so yeah, we're not doing that today. Apparently what we're doing is getting rained on. The what? Just give you a little wipe. I reckon the next little village or town we go through, we'll probably do the episode break. That seems about right. I would like to pass this person, but I'm really not sure about my sightlines. There we go. Now we can put a bit of power down. Yeah, I guess if you have to take the motorway north, the M6, M7 is alright. Our route kind of interestingly shadows it for a while. Not entirely, but in some places. It's kind of weird, like just the road is right beside the motorway. And I think in some cases, like, you may as well just be on the motorway, but on the other hand, I think just being on a road that mirrors the motorway might be a bit more chill. There are some places where it mirrors the motorway, but like it's way up in a hill above it, which is really cool. We're not going to be covering that section because we'll be taking a different route that is away from the motorway just on that section. I just think that's going to be more interesting for me and you. I'm not liking the fact that it started to rain. Please no. Actually, one interesting thing is I have turned my traction control down. When I got this bike, I set it to traction control 6, which is the maximum. Just because it's got so much torque, I was like, oh, that's a bit scary. But then, like, sometime around the 1 year mark, I threw me out of my seat a little. Sometime around the 1 year mark, I dropped it down to TC5. And, yeah, today I dropped it to TC4. Whoa, really pushing the pot out, you know. But, yeah, you know. Part of the reason I put it to traction control 6 is because, although I'd never ridden a bike with traction control before, and so, you know, I'm not gonna toot my own horn or anything. You know, I'm not a really great rider. I have spent my entire motorcycling career without traction control, and I've learned like what the bike feels like when, you know, aggressive traction control might otherwise do stuff. So yeah, like I feel like it would be good to have a bit more manual feel of the bike in that respect. Because like with traction control 6, it will barely ever let you get into that kind of situation. There are a few times, there's been a few mini roundabouts where I've kicked it out a little. But yeah, I decided to drop it down to TC4 just to let me experience a little more of like the true feel of what the bike is actually doing. And have a little bit more input into things. And of course this morning I came onto like a kind of a unexpectedly bad patch of asphalt. And I was like, what? It's a bit wiggly. Yeah, it's not like in a scary way or anything. It's not like beyond my control or anything like that. But just like, ooh, that was interesting. Traction control 4, I guess. I might reduce it further. Like there are technically 7 settings, including off. So 3, I guess, is the like the midpoint. But I mean, I've been on 5 for months, so you know, maybe I'll leave it as is. I might turn it up for some of the Scottish roads. I know from experience that some of the roads I'm going to be taking will be, you know, a little bit, but for most of this stuff it's fine, you know. You'd have to like settle into it a bit. Like you could turn it on or off or down or up or whatever, and you just get on the bike and you go for a ride and you're like, yeah, I don't really notice the difference. This is fine, I guess. You do have to like ride it a bit and get a few different roads and conditions in order to understand it. There's a river there, that's cool. In order to like understand it and understand whether like that's the right setting for you. And that helps you understand like when you should turn it up and when you should turn it down as well. Because obviously like if it's raining really bad, you're probably going to want to turn traction control up a little bit. Just for that little bit of security. And then like if it's really dry and you get like lovely fresh tires, whoa, you can turn it to like down. I don't think I would ever turn traction control off on this bike. But yeah. Okay, turn left. You gonna take me up a single track, Google? I'm not gonna be okay with that if you do. Sorry, lads. Do you know what? Let's leave it there. Let's do the episode split. So, if you've got anything to say, hit me up in the comments. If you like this video, give it a like. If you do, check out some of my other videos. And, you know, if you like them, generally speaking, consider subscribing. And hit the bell if you do. Plus, if you would like to reward me for entertaining you today, you can find ways to do that in the description below. Bye-bye.